Hi, my name is Ryan Smith with the IHSA. Again, we're going to inspect some working heights equipment. This time we're going to look at a twin leg or Y lanyard. As with all working heights equipment, one of the first things we need to verify is that it's CSA certified for use in Canada. So this lanyard here has a label on it, and we can see, perfect, there's our CSA logo referencing the standard. Awesome. Now we know it's CSA certified. So one of the things that we want to look for, now this is a shock absorbing lanyard, so it's going to have built-in shock absorbers. Being a twin leg lanyard, it's got a shock absorber on each leg. This is a tubular style shock absorber. Now, of course, it's possible to partially deploy these, so manufacturers need to build in a way to find out if this has been deployed, if it's been involved in a fall or not. And we can see these little flags sewn into each leg, of course, of the tubular shock absorber. And when that deploys, what we'll have is a nice big long flag that comes out, and it says, of course, warning, do not use this. This has seen fall arrest forces. So that one is not fit for use, but because these are still intact, reasonably we can assume that this has not experienced those forces. Fantastic. Now we know it hasn't been deployed, hasn't been involved in a fall. The other things we want to look at from here, I like to start with the metal components. Now, every connection device for working at heights applications must have a minimum of 2 functions to open. I.e., you can't just be able to press on the gate here. You have to press on the locking mechanism, and then you can open the gate. And in all circumstances, it has to spring back and lock upon release. So we know that this is double locking. That's fantastic. Other things we need to look at with any steel component, of course, we're going to look for signs of physical damage. Any bends, twists, cracks, sharp edges, all of this will take it out of service, as well as surface rust. Corrosion will take these components out of service. Now, always verify with your manufacturer's owner's manuals what is acceptable to them for wear and deterioration in all applications. But I'm satisfied with the condition of these. One important thing to note here as well is, in all circumstances, if these do not have a double locking feature or do not spring back and lock as intended every time, they bind, they jam, it is never acceptable, for the record, to try to lubricate these yourself. Applying any lubricant to these devices will not only take them out of service, but it will also destroy anything it comes in contact with, because all of this material is susceptible to chemical damage. So do not lubricate them. When they wear out, it's time to be replaced, is what it comes down to. Now, when we look at the web material itself, this is similar to the web material in a harness. It's a polysynthetic material. So it is as well susceptible to cuts, nicks, tears, abrasion, chemical damage, excessive UV exposure, and of course, excessive heat. Now, we're going to check that. We're going to check the lanyard for all those conditions. But another thing we need to take note of here is that everywhere that there's a hook or a connection device installed in the lanyard, we need to look inside of this to make sure it's not being worn through from the inside out. Because of course, this is rubbing in here all day, every day. With significant use, it can deteriorate the inside of this eyelet. So we need to make sure that's in good shape. Take a look inside there. Look like we're good so far. It's fantastic. After that, we come across stitching. Of course, they have to sew the 2 pieces of lanyard together. So we need to ensure that the stitching is in good condition. When it comes to stitching, always do your best to try to open it up. Now, this extends over the ends, but I will try to peel apart the sides and make sure there's no damage. It's not obviously coming apart through any of the stitches across the sides or at the ends of this connection. Awesome. Now we can move down to the legs of the lanyard. Again, looking for cuts, nicks, tears, frays, chemical damage, excessive heat, and excessive UV exposure. Now, when it comes to UV exposure, a fantastic example of that, yet again, is this lanyard we have over here. We can see this lanyard used to be yellow all the way across, and now is gray. This is for a number of conditions, but most notably excessive UV exposure. This has been exposed to the sun for too long, and it is deteriorated. This should never be used again. Of course, it's been in a fall, but when we see this kind of excessive wear, that kind of deterioration, it is no longer fit for use. And that concludes the inspection of lanyards in general. Awesome. Thank you. Ryan Smith with IHSA.